Good morning, students. In the last class, we have studied the Darwin's theory of natural selection, where he explains the three observations and two conclusions that are one is overproduction, first one is overproduction, second one is the constancy of size, third one is the struggle for existence, fourth one is variations, and lastly we have discussed the survival for the epitest and also an example for the Darwin's theory. So these are the concept where we have discussed in the last class. Now we are going to discuss the next topic, that is an evidences for an evolution. Here an evidences for evolution. So here how the evolution is produced, that means from the past to the up to today, what is the taken place here. The evolution will taken place a slow and a gradual changes are taken place, wherever it shows that evolution is taken place in an organisms. So how these evidences will shows that an evolution. So here an evidences are an incredible and unimaginary process. It is an uncreditable and unimaginary the process. So here evolution is an uncreditable and also an unimaginary process, where here it does not shows, it is difficult to show that here one's lifetime will not be taken place. That means one's lifetime will not be able to show that how the evidences are produced in an organism. And also here directly or indirectly it helpful for the showing of the evidences in an organisms. That means here it shows directly or indirectly. Here it shows the evolution. It shows an evolution, that is also will shows evolution by a slow process only. Here it takes place by a slow and a gradual. Already we know that evolution means here the producing of new species by pre-existing ones by slow and a gradual changes. So here it takes place not it produced in 1 year or 2 years. It takes millions of years to produce the evolution. That means it shows the evolution will be taken place by very millions of years. So here one's lifetime will not helpful for the evidences for an evolution. So here it shows that in all the branches of biology, here it shows that the evidences. That means what are the branches are presenting here in all branches of biology, all branches of biology. Here it shows the evidences. It shows evidences in all the branches, where here in all branches of biology, such as we can take in place a comparative morphology, and anatomy, comparative anatomy and morphology, and also the comparative embryology, and also shows the comparative physiology, and also paleontology, and also shows biochemistry, and also here it shows a very important, that is in a molecular biology also. Here it shows that in a molecular biology also. So these are the various types of branches where here it helpful for the showing of, or it shows the evidences for the evolution. That is in all these branches, that is morphology, anatomy, embryology, physiology, paleontology, biochemistry, and also the molecular biology. So one by one we will discuss how the evidences are shown in an organism, that is in evolution, how the evidences are taken place in an evolution. Now coming to the first one, that is comparative morphology and anatomy. Now coming to the first one, the comparative morphology and anatomy. So here it shows that the first one is the comparative morphology and the anatomy. So how these morphology and anatomy? So here we know that morphology and anatomy. What is morphology means? Morphology means the studying of the external characteristic features of an organism. So here the studying of, it is a branch of biology studying of an external characteristic features, external characters of an organism. So here external characters, that means what are the outside characters are presenting. That by seeing the eyes, what are the characters we can see, that are called as an external characters. So here by seeing the external characters of an organism, if we studying, so that branch we can call as a morphology and anatomy. What is an anatomy means? The studying of anatomy, the studying of an internal studying of internal characters, studying of an internal characters of an organism, is called as an anatomy. So here it's showing internal characters as well as the external characters are studying, so that we can call them as a morphology as well as an anatomy. So in morphology and anatomy, here there are two type of characters will shows that one is called as homologous organs as well as the analogous organs. Here in the morphology, that is morphology and anatomy, here it shows that two forms. First one is homologous organs. Here it shows that the homologous organs, and second one is analogous organs, and third one is the vestigial organs, and the fourth one is atavism, and the fifth one is the connecting links. So these are the 5 concepts where we will discuss in a comparative morphology and the anatomy. So here the comparative morphology and anatomy will consist of 5 topics, that is homologous organ, analogous organ, vestigial organs, atavism, and connecting links. So here what are these? First one is the homologous organs. First one is the homologous organs. So here what are the homologous organs means? Here it shows that the homologous organ, here the origin and function, that means origin and structure and origin is the same, but they performs a different functions, then it is called as a homologous organs. That means here the structure, it can be defined as a structure and origin. Structure and origin is same. Structure and origin is same, but performs different function. Then it is called as the homologous organs. That means the structure and origin, they are produced from the same structure and origin, but they shows a different functions. So that different functions we can call, the showing different functions we can call as the homologous and organs. So here an example, if it is seen the forelimbs and hind limbs, the forelimbs and hind limbs, forelimbs and hind limbs of humans, cheetah, and also here it shows a fox, it shows the bat and birds. So here the forelimbs and hind limbs, these are helpful for forelimbs and hind limbs in humans, these are helpful for walking. These are helpful for, that means the limbs are helpful for the walking on humans. In cheetah, these are helpful for running the organism. And the bats and birds, these are helpful for the flying. These are helpful for flying into the air. But this origin is the same only. That means will consist of different parts. That is different parts are present in the forelimbs and hind limbs will be same. The same parts are presenting, but their structure is the same and origin is also same. But the performing of the function will be differ, then we can call that as a homologous and organs. Here an example, another example we can take in place in the thrones of bougainvillea and the thrones of bougainvillea and the thrones of bougainvillea and climbers of cucurbita. Sorry, not climbers, tendrils of cucurbita. So here these are producing, that is the thrones of bougainvillea as well as the tendrils of cucurbita. This origin is the same. That means these thrones and tendrils are produced from the thrones and the tendrils are produced from axillary buds. These are producing from an axillary buds, and but they shows a different functions. Here these are helpful. The thrones are helpful in defending mechanism, and the tendrils are helpful for climbing the plant into the that is the tendrils are helpful for climbing the plants. So here the function is different, but the performing the structure and origin. That structure and origin is they are produced from the same axillary buds only. From an axillary buds these are produces, but the performing the function, the thrones are helpful for defending in mechanism, and the tendrils are helpful for the climbing a plant. So this is where we can call as the homologous organs. And also here the homologous organs which are presented here, it shows that a divergent, that means homologous organs are an evidences for a divergent evolution. These are the evidences. These are the evidences for a divergent and evolution. So what is the divergent evolution means? Here it showing the same origin but showing a different ancestral forms, structure from the formation of different structures from and common ancestral forms. That is, here it showing the divergent evolution will showing the structuring, the formation of the structures from a common ancestral forms, that is we can call as a divergent and evolution. Where it shows the evidences for divergent, where here it is a homologous organs. Next, coming to the second one. And coming to the second one, the second one is the analogous organs. Analogous the organs. So here the analogous organs are the opposite to the homologous organs. So here it can be defined as it can be defined as the structure and origin. The structure and origin is different, but performs same function, but performs the same function, then it is called as a analogous organ. In homologous, the structure and origin is the same, but in analogous organ, the structure and origin is different, but here the function is different, is the same. But here in analogous, here the function is same, we can call that as an analogous organ. It is an opposite to the homologous organs. And if you see an example for this, the potato and the sweet potato, or an example for the analogous organs. I means here the potato is an underground stem modification, underground stem modification, and the sweet potato is the root modification. So here the potato is a stem modification and the sweet potato is a root modification, but performs the same function, is helpful for the storaging of food materials. The storage of food materials. The same function is it helpful for the storaging of the same food material. That means the potato is helpful for the storaging food materials in the form of starch. Likewise, in the sweet potato also it is helpful for the storaging of the food materials in the form of starch. So here they are different. That means structure and origin is different. That means one is a stem modification, another one is root modification, but they performs the same function, that is helpful for the storaging of the food materials. And also here we can second place origin, that is example the eyes of octopus and also humans. The origin is different, but they performing the same function, is they helpful for the seeing the object. So an example we can take and place another example, the eyes of octopus and humans, and also the vertebrates brain and also the heart. Here they are different structure. The structure is different, but the performing is helpful for the circulation and also the coordination. The brain is helpful for the coordination of the organism. So that are an example for the analogous organs. That is, the structure and origin is different, but perform the same function. But in homologous, here the structure and origin is the same, but performing a different function. That is opposite. The homologous and analogous organs are opposite to the one another. So that is a main difference where it takes place in an homologous as well as the analogous organs. Here the evidences shows the analogous evidences for analogous organism. Evidences of analogous will shows a convergent and evolution. That means Convergent evolution means here the functions of the ancestors will be the same, will be presenting. So, here in different structure functioning, the structure of the ancestors are same in divergent, but here the functioning of the divergent evolution is here the functioning of an ancestors are the same function will be performing, then we can call as a convergent evolution, where here it shows that the attaining of similar structure by distant relative animals. So, here it is showing the similar structure by distantly related animals, showing different similar structure. It is showing a similar structure by the distant animals, distantly animals. So, it is called as, that means showing a similar structure by the distant animals, we can call as a convergent evolution. Last time I explained the functions of that, not functions. Here it shows that the similar structure by the distant animals, here it shows that that is a convergent evolution, that shows that in an analogous organisms. So, these are the two main important concepts. One is homologous and analogous. These are very important in a practical as well as a theory questions. For 2 marks or 1 mark questions, here these are very an example. What are homologous or analogous organs? Give an examples. That is a 1 mark or a 2 marks. If 1 mark means definition and 2 marks means here will have to write the definition. Along with the definition, you have to give 2 examples will be given. So, that is carries a 2 marks. A very very important question in the board exam, that is a homologous as well as the analogous and organs.